Facebook, we are live. We are live. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Hope everybody ate good and got in the gym if that's your thing, like I did. But we're back to business, back to wholesaling. So today, I want to give you guys 6 techniques to jumpstart your wholesaling business. These are very important. These are 6 techniques. 3 of them are going to be free. So if you don't have any startup money, if your marketing funds are low and you've already closed deals, this can help you. These are free ways to get leads. If you've never done a wholesale deal before, these are 3 ways you can start marketing, start getting leads, start talking to sellers, and start getting some deals closed so you can, make some money. And if you've already been wholesaling or you already have some type of funds where you can start marketing, I'm going to tell you 3 ways, 3 of the best ways I feel that you should be marketing. So let's get into it. If you have questions about anything I'm talking about, drop your comment below. I'll try to get to them. And I'm going to give you my take on everything. I've done all of these marketing channels, guys. So, I have my own feelings about, how successful they were. But I pretty much closed deals on all of them. So let's get into it. So the first way, we're going to start with the free side. So free. What this means is if you don't have any money to put into marketing, all right, in your wholesaling business, if you're just starting out, or if you've been in business for a long time and your marketing dollars are low, we've all been there. If you haven't have low marketing dollars, you haven't been in business long enough, really. It's ebbs and flows of business. So, the first way I would suggest getting leads, if you don't have any money for marketing for your wholesaling business, is driving for dollars. This is an old technique. I mean, people have been doing it for years. That was the first technique I used when I wanted to get into wholesaling. Driving for dollars. What that means is in your neighborhood, there are properties that look distressed. There are properties that don't have the grass cut, that look abandoned, that you can kind of sense that nobody lives there. This is a house that's the eyesore in the neighborhood. This is the kind of house that you would want to look up, try to research who the owner of that property is, give them a call, and say, hey, I'm driving by your property at 123 Main Street. I'm just interested in purchasing. I wanted to know if you've ever thought about selling. I want to make you an offer. So that you can do. You can do that in your spare time on the weekends. If you have a job, you can do that during the day while you're on lunch break. Whenever you're driving in your neighborhood or other neighborhoods, be looking for distressed properties. Again, properties with high grass, trash cans, aren't being taken in. You can tell everyone else in the neighborhood takes their trash cans in, but this house, that you can tell there's nobody living there. Try to reach out to that owner. You can look the property up and get the owner's information. So that's the first one, driving for dollars. Depending on how much resources you have, how much time you have, it can really be an easy way. It's free. All you have to do is, have transportation. So the second free way, free. The second free way, if you have $0 to jumpstart your wholesaling business, is my bread and butter, what I've been talking about last week, MLS outreach. Call real estate agents that have listings. This is a great way to get your foot in the door. It's a great way to, build relationships with agents. Again, if you build a relationship with an agent, you guys close a deal together, that agent is going to keep bringing you leads, guys. They're going to keep bringing you leads, and you're going to have the opportunity to close more deals because of the relationship you've built with that agent. So MLS outreach is a huge way to get started if you don't have any money to put into the business for marketing. Along with the MLS outreach is FISBO, is for sale by owner. It's called FISBO leads. So again, you can go on Zillow. You can look at FISBO leads. You can filter using Zillow's filters, and try to talk to people that have their house for sale. So again, guys, whether you're talking to agents or talking to sellers themselves, people that have their properties listed with an agent or people that have their properties listed by themselves, so for sale by owner, they're super motivated, right? Like, why else would they have their property listed for the world to see that they're trying to sell? Now, you want to find deals that are you don't want a house that was built 2 years ago, it's brand new, there's nothing, wrong with the house. That's probably not going to be a house that you're going to target, but try to use your filters depending on your market, and filter down the houses that are look like some type of distress with the house, whether the house had tenants, the owner lives out of state, the house needs some work. Try to find some type of distressed situation with that property. Don't waste your time on brand new houses. Don't call an agent, with a house that was built in 2019, 2020. You're going to waste a lot of your time. So try to find good situations for you, and good situations so that you can help the agent and the seller. Um, Now, this third one, not a lot of people know about. There's some game I'm giving y'all right now. Not a lot of people know about this third one. I really shouldn't even be saying it, but this third one is free. This is another free way to jumpstart your real estate business. Auction.com. Auction.com. What do I mean by auction.com? Auction.com is a website. Um, when a house is behind on payments, there are pretty much three basic steps where the bank is trying to take back over the house. So if someone doesn't pay their mortgage for a certain amount of months, depending on the mortgage company, they will put the house in pre-foreclosure. The house will be in pre-foreclosure. If they continue not to make payments or the seller doesn't get caught up on the mortgage payments, the house will be in foreclosure. All right. This has been, after like 3, 4, 5 months, it depends on the mortgage company. After the house goes in foreclosure, it's scheduled for an auction. An auction is when the bank is saying, okay, we're going to give you this date. On this date, the house is going to be sold to the highest bidder, and the seller pretty much has to get out the house. This is a extremely, extremely sensitive situation, I'd say, for the homeowner. If they're going through the auction process, that means that they have, you know, um, exhausted all options. If they're at the auction.com, if the house is on auction.com and they're in the auction process, they should have been receiving communication from the mortgage company for quite some time now. So back to auction.com. Now that I've explained what the auction is, back to auction.com. If you see a house, you can look at houses in your area. You can look at houses outside of your city, anywhere, really, virtually. You can look on auction.com. They have houses. Now, here in Georgia, the auctions are every first Tuesday of the month. Every first Tuesday of the month. Depending on the state, it might be a little different, but Georgia's every first Tuesday of the month. So if you see a house that's scheduled for the first Tuesday of the month, let's say, for example, in December or January, you might be able to put the address in like a website like True People Search, put the address in there. It'll come up with the property owner, who's supposed to be the property owner. And it'll give you their phone numbers. Again, this is all free. Auction.com is free. TruePeopleSearch.com is free. So take the address from auction.com, put it in True People Search. It'll come up with what the True People Search says is the owner. Call them, and that could be a lead right there. Now, you're not always going to have the right numbers. True People Search is like a advanced yellow pages sort of website, so you might get the wrong number, you might get a busy number, you might get a number that no longer exists. But I'm telling you, if you call enough of these properties, enough of these potential leads, you'll get the right number, and it'll be a seller, in a situation. Sometimes, in most cases, they're going to know, hopefully, about the auction, but I'm telling you, I've closed deals where the seller lives out of state, and there was a family member who passed away, and they had no idea about the auction, and they're going to be thankful that you called, because if they don't stop, guys, it comes down to this: if they don't stop the auction process, then the bank is going to take the house, and they're going to get nothing, zero, nothing, nothing, nothing. So if you're able to step in, and be a voice, or help them with the sale of the house, help them get the house sold quickly, and they're able to make whatever, $20,000, $30,000 off of the house. That's a huge win, because if they weren't aware, or if you didn't come into the picture, the bank would have sold the house for nothing. So, and they would have received nothing rather. So, This is a great way to, like I said, start talking to people, start having conversations on the phone. You just say, hey, my name is so and so. I came across your property, 123 Main Street. I just wanted to know if you had any interest in selling. You don't even have to mention that you saw it on auction.com right away. Um, Down the line, if you want to say, hey, I just wanted to make you aware, I saw your property on auction.com. They say that it's going to be sold at an auction on this date. I just wanted to make you aware. Sometimes the seller will say, yeah, I'm aware, and we're working with the bank or we're working with the mortgage company. But sometimes they are not aware. So this could be a great, a huge, huge way to help them and, help yourself by closing the deal and getting a pretty large fee, I'd say. So those are the top three, I believe, right now in today's market, free ways to jumpstart your wholesaling business. Driving for dollars, outreach to real estate agents and for sale by owner leads on Zillow or the MLS if you have access, and auction.com. Those are the top three. Now, for paid marketing, this is if you have money already, you have a 9 to 5, so you have some money to spend on marketing, or you've been wholesaling for a little while, you've closed a few deals, and now you have money to put into marketing. I'd say the best way I'd say overall is SMS text or text messaging. So, um, text blasting or sending a lot of text messages, hundreds and thousands of text messages at a time. There are some services, different services you can use like launch control, smarter contact. There's a bunch of text messaging platforms that you can choose from, but essentially what you'll be doing is uploading. Again, this costs money. It'll cost money to pull a big list of data, of property data, to get that list skips traced, to get the phone numbers on that list for the property owners. That costs money. To put it into the text message CRM, that also costs money to run the CRM. So it's not a huge cost, but to do it consistently, you'll need to have some marketing dollars added up in your reserve so that you can stay consistent with it. You don't want to just send one batch of text messages a month. Like it's you're not going to strike much gold with that because you have to stay consistent with it. So again, this costs money, but text messages, people tend to answer their phone. Everybody usually sees their text. That's the way it is nowadays. So people have their phone in their hand. If you send a text and say, hey, I'm interested in your property, 123 Main Street. Have you ever thought about selling? People will either say, screw off, no, uh, how much, or something like that. So you have a good chance. I like text messaging. You do have to, type back. You want to make sure you respond quickly because if you reach out to somebody like that and they have their phone in their hand, you send them a text. The biggest thing is your response rate. You want to make sure that your response time, rather, you want to make sure that you're responding quickly because if they respond to your text and then you take an hour or 2 hours to respond back, you're going to kill your conversion rate, your lead conversion rate. So text messaging is hands-on. If you're going to be doing it by yourself, just make sure you stay on top of it because everybody that responds to you, everybody that does respond, could be a potential lead. So don't take an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours responding back to the person if they do show some type of interest. Um, the second I would say is cold calling. So cold calling again has been around in the wholesaling business. What's up, Patricia? That was my teammate right there. What's up, Patricia? Cold calling, guys. Cold calling is age old, age old. So you can do this yourself. Again, pulling the data will cost some money. Skip tracing the data will cost some money. You can cold call them through a service like Mojo Dialer. East Coast. Yeah, through Mojo Dialer, you can start calling the sellers. Again, this will be calling sellers instead of texting them. So, um, yeah, I like it. It's a good form of marketing. A lot of people, once they've reached that next level with their finances and their wholesaling business, they will, they'll hire virtual assistants. What that means is they'll outsource their cold calling to either a team in the Philippines, a team in Egypt, a team in Mexico, or a lot of these guys are doing it from different countries nowadays. But you can start cold calling yourself. I would suggest starting yourself just so that you're comfortable with the phone. Don't try to hire two or three or four cold callers virtual assistants if you haven't cold called yourself. Because how can you train three or four or five people on something that you've never done? So keep that in mind, guys. Don't be afraid with any of these marketing techniques. You have to do it yourself. You have to figure out what works for you, uh, what type of marketing works for your market, and things like that. So you can outsource your cold calling, so you don't have to spend hours per week on the phone. But I would say at first, at least for a month or two, you should be doing it yourself to get a feel for the business in that marketing channel, just so you can train someone else and know what to expect. Because the biggest thing I see is a lot of investors will hire cold callers or virtual assistants, and then when that virtual assistant doesn't get a lead or good leads in a week or two, they just fire which is, I think it's sometimes the cold caller could be just be bad. Like maybe they suck at cold calling. So that's possible, but also you want to make sure that you can train them properly before they start calling for you. They should be trained with you to understand how you want them to be cold calling. And the only way to really understand that is if you've cold called yourself. So you can, have proper expectations for them once they start working with you. So just keep that in mind. That's cold calling the second way. Um, and then the third way for paid marketing. Paid marketing, again, this is with you have money to spend on marketing consistently, not just 2 weeks, not just 1 month, not just 2 months. You want to have reserves up so that you can spend money consistently to bring in these leads for your wholesaling business. The third way I would say is ringless voicemails. So what that means is it's been around for a long time. It's not as popular for whatever reason anymore. I like ringless voicemails. Um, you can make a call to a seller, not from your personal phone. There's different platforms, again, that you can do for ringless voicemails, so you can send a lot at a time. Keep in mind, guys, with the text messaging, the cold calling, and now the ringless voicemails that we're talking about, you're doing hundreds and thousands of output per week. You have to stay consistent with the marketing, and you have to send large numbers of output or large numbers of data into your CRM. It's not just sending 100 a week or 200 a week. I mean, we're talking thousands, 20 to 30,000 a month. Those are the type of numbers that you should be looking for to consistently produce leads. So again, yeah, when you pick your platform for these different techniques, you have to make sure that you have the funds to do it consistently. So keep that in mind. But with the ringless voicemails, what's up, Patricia? Dropping them gems for sure. Patricia is my teammate for the Dream Team. Yes, yes, ma'am. So, um, ringless voicemails again. So you'll send out a large batch of data, and it'll go straight to someone's voicemail. So their phone doesn't ring, they don't get a text message. It'll go straight to their voicemail. You're recording, and your recording, you want it to be yourself, your voice, so you can personalize the marketing to say, hey, I'm Demarcus. I came across your property. I wanted to see if you had any interest in selling. I can close cash. I can close quickly. Give me a call back here at my number if you want to receive a cash offer, something like that, guys. You want it to be your voice, but you can't say the address. Don't get, I don't want to confuse you guys. You can't say the address on the voicemail because you're going to be sending it to thousands of people. So you can't say, I was interested in your house at 123 Main Street because you want to send it to multiple people. Um, Oh yeah, Patricia, I appreciate it. Yes, yes. So again, yeah. So all of these, take some time, guys. But the biggest secret. So we just went over paid marketing techniques. My top three: SMS text messaging or text blasting, cold calling, and ringless voicemails. All right, those are my top three paid. And again, the biggest thing with that is make sure you have the funds to do it consistently because, and I learned this the hard way in my early real estate career. You can't just spend money on marketing for a month or two and run out of money, and then the train stops. And now you don't have any leads, you don't have any deals, and you're just frustrated. So I'm not saying you'll be wasting your money, but you just want to plan it out, write everything down, create a spreadsheet or whatever you have to do to make sure that you can do this for, I'd say, at least 90 days. You shouldn't start any of these, whether it's free or paid, really. You shouldn't start any of these marketing techniques unless you have 90 days to commit to it. So that's driving for dollars, that's MLS outreach, that's auction.com outreach, SMS text, cold calling. You need to have 90 days. You can't just do it for 30 days or 45 days to see if it works. It's not enough time. It's not enough time. So again, make sure your finances are in order. If you have questions, DM me. Say, hey, I got $3,000. What should I do? You know what I mean? You need to, map it out to make sure that you can put out a good campaign for at least 90 days. Um, but the biggest secret, guys, the biggest sauce I'm about to give you. So I gave you a lot of sauce already. The driving for dollars, that's free. I've closed deals that way. MLS outreach, that's free. Talking to agents, I've definitely closed deals that way. That's probably my favorite of the free ones. And auction.com, that's a gem. Not many people on YouTube are talking about that. Auction.com, again, if you missed it, auction.com, that's a house goes through pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, and the final step when the bank takes out somebody's house for non-payment is an auction. If you can talk to someone a few weeks or a month before the auction takes place, who's more motivated than that? Who's more motivated than the bank is about to take someone's house? It's a serious situation. So if you're able to talk to them and work out something, make a good offer on their property, they can pay their mortgage off, walk away with money, and the bank doesn't get the house. You can't find somebody more motivated than that. So again, that's auction.com. SMS text blasting is really popular. Again, you have to stay on top of it. It's a lot of input. You have to have conversations with people if you're doing it yourself. You have to have the time to answer people hopefully as quickly as you can. Because again, you don't want people just responding to you and you're taking a day or two to text back. You're not going to be very successful like that. So make sure you have the time if you're doing SMS text. Same with cold calling. That takes a lot of time. And then finally, ringless voicemail. But the biggest piece of game, guys, before I get out of here, the biggest piece of game is that all of these marketing channels work. All of these marketing channels work. Um, uh, yeah, all of these marketing channels work. You have to just do them consistently. If you talk to people that's been in real estate for a long time, these YouTube guys or whoever you talk to, they'll tell you that all of these work. All of these work. You just have to do it consistently. Now, based on your market, you can do something for a year or two and then say, well, this doesn't really work in my market. This one works better. Or I like texting personally better than cold calling. Or I like RVMs better than cold calling. So you can find your favorite based on your personality, your time, your availability. But all of them work, even the free ones, if you just do it consistently. Again, I wouldn't start any of these before you, I wouldn't start any of these if you don't have at least 90 days worth of time or 90 days worth of funds to make sure you do it consistently. Otherwise, you're doing yourself and your business a disservice because it's not enough time. You can't do something for 30 days and then expect to make 10K. You can get lucky. Yeah, you can get lucky. Don't get me wrong. When I closed my first wholesale deal, it took me under 30 days and I was paid. I was paid in 40 days, funded. So I just got lucky. But I know a lot of people that didn't get so lucky and it took them longer to get their deal. So you can definitely close deals. You can come across somebody next week, the day before, or the week after in 2 weeks. But give yourself 90 days. And Patricia said, I thought auction.com was for people with money in their hands and would be a bidding war. So, yeah, Patricia, when the property gets to the auction, meaning like the first Tuesday of the month at the courthouse, there's a courthouse, people go to bid on a property. Those are investors with money in their hands. They have to pay cash that day to get the property. They bid on the property and then they pay the courthouse. The courthouse pays the mortgage or whatever, and the investor gets the property. At that point, if that property has gotten to that point, it's too late. If the house is on the courthouse steps and investors are bidding on it, it's too late. But if you go to auction.com right now, you'll probably see a lot of properties, depending on your state, that have auction dates for mid-December or the end of December. Those are properties you can still call those sellers and say, hey, I'm interested in your house at 123 Main Street, or it's up to you. I don't usually say, hey, I see your house on auction.com. I don't want them to get defensive. Again, it's very, it's a touchy situation. Somebody potentially is about to lose their house. So it's a touchy situation. I usually approach it as if I don't know about the auction.com. Because again, I don't want anyone to get defensive. I mean, imagine if, you were in that situation. I'm sure they're getting a lot of calls already from the bank, from the mortgage company, and everything like that. So these are still people on auction.com, Patricia, that you can talk to and say, hey, I'm trying to, buy the house. I saw it on auction.com. If it comes to that point and they're talking to you about the situation, you can say, hey, I saw it on auction.com. The auction date is December 20th. We can get something done before that. I'm just letting you know. I can offer that to you. I can make you a cash offer. They might say, "Oh, really? Well, how much can you offer me?" And you go start the conversation like that. But you're going to need to move quickly, and you're going to need to make sure your buyers are lined up, because if you get that property under contract and you can't perform and the bank gets to the house, that's going to feel really bad. So make sure that you get it at a good price that you can perform. You can perform because it's a lot on the line. It's a lot on the line for yourself and a lot on the line for the seller in that situation if they're getting close to the auction date. Um, yeah, Patricia. Yeah. All these strategies, like, they're trial and error, trial and error. I've tried many other things. I just kept it to six today. But I've tried many other techniques. Is this again, you don't have to do all of these. You don't have to say you tried them all. You have to find what works for you. Find what type of motivation um, you are comfortable talking about with the seller, or what type of situation. If you're more comfortable saying, hey, I drove by your house and I noticed that, the grass wasn't cut. I'm not sure if you're living there, or, I'm interested in purchasing. Can I make you a cash offer on the place? They could live out of state. They don't really need the house anymore, don't have any need for it. It's vacant. That's an easy way if you're comfortable with that. So if you're more comfortable talking to real estate agents, maybe you know a real estate agent, maybe you are a real estate agent and you want to start wholesaling. That's an easy way to start closing deals, to talk to real estate agents. Again, just find out what works for you, you guys, so that you can, start closing deals. The goal with this is to consistently close deals. That's probably the most important part. You know what I mean? Aside from all of these marketing channels work, but the wholesaling business, it's a lot of people that get in the business and then and I was a victim of this myself. I'll be completely honest. In the beginning of my career, really, making a lot of money in 1 to 2 months, and then making no money in a couple months, and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's why I'm preaching, consistency with it. You want to make sure you stay consistent with it. And to do that, you have to be on top of your business finances. You have to be on top of, if you're doing for the free, if you need to do something free to build your capital up, you have to stay on top of when you're gonna market, how much you're gonna do it, and how consistently you're gonna do it. Because if not, you don't want to burn out, and you don't want to put a month or two into marketing just to have to stop. Marketing is a train. It's a train. It takes a lot to get going, but once you get it going and it stays consistent, you can make a lot of money consistently. That's the thing. Wholesalers, this is not a business where you just want to make some money, and then go to the mall and blow it all. Like, we want to not have to work. That's the reason I got into wholesaling, was because I didn't want to have to work anymore. I didn't want to have a 9 to 5. So this is my whole life. So I have to make sure that I'm consistently closing deals so that my family and myself, we're set up for the long run. So um, those are it, guys. Those are the six techniques for jump starting your wholesaling business today. I know the end of the year is coming, and then a lot of people are going to have New Year's resolutions, and there's going to be an influx of side business ideas for 2024. So be prepared for that. Patricia, what do you need me to say again? Let me know what you need me to say again, Patricia. Um, yeah, so I know the end of the year is coming. Let me know what you want me to say again, Patricia. I'll go back over it. Um, the end of the year is coming, and as soon as January hits, it's going to be best side businesses for 2024, yada yada. They do it every year. But if you're really looking to get into wholesaling, guys, watch this video again, replay it, save it, repost it, share it, like it, do whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to make sure that people have this tips, because you can see people, on YouTube and on social media. You don't have to have money, bro. I'm still closing deals now that cost me no money. So I just want to make sure everyone has the tips necessary to get started. You can do this if you have a 9 to 5. You can do this on the weekend, after work, during your lunch break. If you're not working and you have a lot of time, then pick one of these marketing techniques and get on the phone. And if getting on the phone is scary to you guys, it was scary for me in the beginning. That's natural. But the enemy of fear is consistency. If you do it consistently, if you push yourself to pick up the phone consistently, you won't be afraid anymore, because you would have gotten used to it. Um, Having this too. Yeah, yeah, Patricia. And it's no knock to anyone that has a 9 to 5. Patricia's talking about what I mentioned about not working. It's just like, hey, I was a I was a great employee, but I was hard headed, and I just wanted to do things my way. So I knew after a certain point for me that it just wasn't in the cards for me to be an employee or have a boss, because I'm just hard headed. So that's just that's just how it worked out for me. But for anyone, whether you're looking, you can keep your job and just be making an extra $10,000, $15,000 a month on the side. Imagine having your W-2 and making another $10,000 on the side. That's like an extra 120 tax free plus your W-2. I mean, I can't argue with that either. Patricia says, I'm a nurse. She no longer wants to do it. 23 years, I'm checking out. Yeah, so Patricia, we're definitely going to talk more. I know we were in the group together, but I want to make sure you're doing the right things as far as like marketing and everything. I know you closed deals before, Patricia. So yeah, guys, I'm wrapping this one up. I'm about to go grill some chicken. I might put that on Facebook too. So happy Friday, happy Black Friday. Again, you don't need to wait until the new year. You don't even need to wait until next week. You can start this weekend. Just get your feet wet and make a call. It all comes down to just picking a marketing channel. They all work, and make a call. Make a call, guys. So I'll be back. I'll try to go live next week. Next week I'm at the Freedom event in Dallas, Texas. I'll be out there. I'll try to post some content of that. I'll be out there with my mentor, Aaron Bevins will be out there having a good old time. But guys, whatever you want to do, whether it's wholesaling or any side business, really, just make the call, bro. Make the call. One of my favorite movies, Wolf of Wall Street, it's like he said, if you're tired of being broke, pick up the phone and start dialing. That's my favorite part of that movie. Um, Tania says, I want to hear agent calls. I'm gonna do that next week. Tania, next week, um, I'm going to get on live maybe before the trip and talk to agents, so you can hear how to converse with agents, and what they like to hear to get deals closed. Um, yeah, Patricia, if you need to catch an interview with me and Aaron, go. It's on my page. Go to my page. We did a live. So go to my page and check that out as well. But um, I'm signing off here, guys. If you need anything additional, I try to make myself available. Just DM me. If you know me personally, text me. But love you guys, and happy wholesaling. I wish you guys the best. I'll see you next week sometime. Let's get it.